All right, Glenn, what happened last time?
Oh dear, well, let's start from the beginning. We back at the temple, I'm assuming it was the burned down temple. We Bernardo and Hans, I believe it was, went straight for the frog statue and tried to pry gems out of its eyes, which to his demise summoned a steaming tar slime monster thing that hugged Bernardo to death. Afterwards, we had a grim fight with the creature, turned everybody's weapons hot until it was pelted with stones and sunk away into the floor somewhere, some cavern below. Um, After that, we went for a stroll. We went and looked at the courtyard and went to the pit, which was very deep and possibly full of ghosts. We don't know. The bottom was not in sight. After that, we went and investigated a purple light, which turned out to be some kind of chaos portal. We did not stick our heads through, though, to see what was on the other side. Probably a good call at this point. And we made our trek back. Oh, we also found a bow and a sword and some other neat trinkets here and there. And the last thing I remember is we went downstairs into a cavern of sorts, kind of like a basement at first. Picked up some maybe not cursed gold coins that were on the stairs. Found a talking skull, which we've not asked him his name yet. I'm just going to call him Sean for a moment. He told us of the deep chaos creatures of below and how he wanted revenge. And he has a whole story about that and his friends, who he won't shut up about. Afterwards, he cleared a pool for us, which showed us another deep, sunken, disgusting looking tunnel to follow. So, obviously, we went down it, and we went down, all of us, and off in the distance, after a few minutes of trekking into this slime infested, muck, dark, damp cavern, we found a dock, I believe it was, off in the distance. And we see giant dragon carved, demonic, nice looking longship coming across to come say hi.
I think that perfectly sums it up. So here we go. Here you are currently, um, having descended down into this cave and the sludge having ran out and having you could still hear the skull murmuring in the sack, kind of, and there is this huge underground lake that just extends out in front of you into the darkness. But you get a sense that it goes on for a very, very long ways. And you can see an island far off into the underground lake. And on the island, you can see little lights, and there are drums and bestial howls and screaming and things off on the island. There's this Minhir, this longship. It's like with a dragon head, and it has just floated up just off of the bank, and yeah, and you also see this standing stone that's here on the shore, and it looks like it has very narrow, tall steps, almost like a ladder winding its way up to the top of the standing stone. What do you do?
Well, I mean, if no one volunteers, I guess the horde of Jeff and Beth will make the first move and go up the ladder like stairs. Might
Is
as well
the
not waiting.
is the longboat docked, or is it in the water? Like, sort of how close is it?
It's in the water. So for your Fs, various Fs, Glenn, you have some of them. They climb the narrow stairs up the top of the standing stone, and you find that at the top, it's made into like a platform. And on the top of the platform is a little dais that's been placed here with a shallow, wide bowl. The bowl at the bottom is partially filled with hardened wax, and there is the stub of a red candle still sitting atop of it. And Ted, it's the menhir is just off. Like, you'd have to swim to get out to it, basically. Kind of like this picture.
Right. Got it. That's what I was getting at. Okay. So Jeff is at the top of this little Devil's Tower, whatever you want, like mini Devil's Tower, essentially.
Yeah.
Is there? I'll have the astrologer Delilah walk around the base of it counterclockwise. Are there any etchings or carvings? Anything written? She's one of the few of these that can really read. Is there anything, does this appear to be naturally formed, or maybe it's been carved by human hand or non-human hand?
You get the sense, first of all, that it's definitely been carved with human hands. And as you look, the sigils and runes that are carved into it even kind of glow with a faint, sickly green light. And you can make a will save with a D24, since she's an astrologer.
Yes, D24. Could you guys is it backslash again, or is it
/R space 1D24. Like /R space 1D24, like that. Got to put a /R and then space, then 1D24. It would look like look like this. Space
Got it.
one. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Awesome. One.
You
somehow appropriate.
Yeah, like as you're looking at this, you find yourself just needing to trace them and touch them, and the runes they just kind of, they give you this peaceful sense of release, like you don't have to worry about this anymore.
Great.
Like
Delilah,
everything's okay now.
She's completely distracted. It would seem.
Yeah, and then although you think you're just like looking at the runes, you suddenly find yourself like gripping one of Ian's peasants by the throat and also by thighs. You like look at them like they're a rune, and you're lifting them up, and then you don't notice it, but suddenly you're walking toward the water. And Ian, you can select a peasant to make a strength save, or a
It's gonna be
yes,
Moiric, the wheat farmers. What did you say? A strength save?
a fortitude save.
That's a flat roll, so
Oh no.
I'm Only 18 more rolls to go till a critical.
We're starting off strong.
You can burn luck on this if you want. I don't know if you have much to burn, but if not, Delilah, you notice that suddenly with an inhuman strength and a faint green glow coming from her eyes as she looks up at you, she's looking at you with wonder, the peasant that is being carried by her, and she's taking you to the shoreline and walking. What's everybody else doing?
My soldier sees that he has my soldier lateral. He sees that you're carrying one of the people by the neck, and he's gonna try to tackle Delilah.
Okay. Before you can do that, Delilah gets to the shore and simply throws the peasant off into the water like it's just a tennis ball or something, a small object, as if it's nothing. And then you tackle her, and then she hits the ground, and now all of a sudden, Delilah, you're like, whoa, and you've been tackled. Like, how did this happen? And let's see.
The green glow, does she seem to be released from its grip?
Yeah. And all of a sudden, there is a So, what's your peasant's name, Ian?
Was Moirek?
Moirek. What's wonderful about Moirek? Like, what makes them? Yeah, go ahead.
Moirek and his brother inherited a wheat farm just outside of town, and his brother's one of the initial peasants that went missing. So he's come over here, leaving his wife and kids behind on the farm, hoping to get his brother and help out their economic situation, because he can't cope with a farm on his own.
Let's see here. Let me find. All the waters start to burble around the ship. And these things lift up out of the water as the water falls to either side. Hey, Gorky. The water falls to either side as the tentacle comes up, and as Moirek is trying to swim, all of a sudden it grabs a hold of him. And Moirek, you can attempt another fortitude saving throw.
Are these actual physical tentacles, or they seem to be apparitions, sort of like the glowing green?
They seem very, very real.
Okay.
Yeah, he might as well drop all his luck into that and make it a 14.
In Delilah's, she's aghast at what's happened. Obviously, guilt. Personal. She's obviously beside herself. Looking around to see if she can help him in some way.
All right. It is not enough to escape, and it is going to do its attack here.
Okay. Her intention is to go in after him and help.
Moirek, you find yourself like drowning. However, this thing whips at you, and it's sort of just whipping around wildly the end of it, and it doesn't strike you. So that's its turn. Everybody else can roll for initiative. Let's see. Ian got an 8.
With a modifier.
Yay, 15!
A random peasant.
Ted got a 15. Ken got an 11. Derek?
I got 15.
You got a 15.
Yep.
Hey, Gorky, do
I
you
got
know
17.
Just real quick, Gorky, you know what's going on, right? Basically.
You're in deep deep. Sorry for my French language shit. Like,
Deep
Say-
water.
Yeah, I can't add anything to that. Yep, you nailed it.
I'm gonna put this image
yeah.
back up and not close it, but you guys can close it if it's that way. I just have it up here for myself.
Sorry. The problem is that we had a time change, So
Oh, that's okay.
that's why I was late. I didn't realize that you
No,
didn't.
that's no
Like,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the states will be on track next week, so we'll all be synced up.
So, let's see here. What'd you get, Glenn?
A 17.
Glenn, okay. You are able to act first then.
Okay. Well, Jeff, being up on the tower, kind of barely sees this. He's kind of more interested in the candle. He doesn't want to touch that water at this moment, seeing that tentacles just spring out of nowhere. My sheep herder, though, he's gonna try and bravely run into the water and take a whack at this tentacle and see if he can help save Delilah and what was his name again? Morak.
Morak.
All right, go for it.
Being
There are
plunged-
probably dozens of these tentacles that are, they're probably 4 to 5 feet wide and 10 or 20 feet long each.
Oh, that's fine. A dinky wooden club.
Yeah,
Start those fools out.
you could take a look
All right.
if you're not at max already.
Ah! Nat 20.
Wow.
Nat 20. And
The hit.
let me placehold that. Let me forget. I messed this up. Sorry, a lot happened. Ian, you said that you were going to try to burn luck to do the strength or the fortitude save to escape, right?
We're pushed up to 14.
Pushes it to a 14. Ah, yeah, that's right. That is not enough. Okay, a nat 20. Roll a d4.
And that is a 3.
3. Okay. Three. Okay. You can roll for damage. And you can roll an additional 1d3 of damage on top of that.
So, first set of damage is a 1. Wonderful. And the additional D3 is a 2.
2.
So
I think you hit
damage.
like the tip of it. Even though you don't cause much damage, it and you hear like a squealing noise, and it like whips back into the water, and several of the tentacles whip back into the water, and it goes to the bottom of the
Cool.
initiative. So I will put you back to the top.
Okay.
Um,
And
We
just
defeated
the
it.
other 2 gamblers going to come running in, trying to assist.
oh, okay. You can.
Is
What are they going to try to attack?
Sure. I'm guessing like 2 tentacles went to the water and the rest are still.
Oh yeah, they're
Slurping up on
probably
top.
1.5 dozen tentacles here.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, they're just gonna start swinging away at the closest tentacles. My 2 gamblers. One has a staff and one has a club.
Okay.
So the first one is a 14.
14. 14 does not hit.
Okay, so that's swing and a miss. The second one is a 16.
16 hits.
All right. That's another D4. That's 4 damage.
All right. Yeah, you crack at another one of the tentacles, and then anybody else? Okay,
That's everybody.
that's everybody. All right. Next would be Gorky's peasants.
Yeah. I guess Vark is gonna because he's Vark's a ditch digger, the heroic one. He's gonna be. We have to save them, and he's gonna just launch himself with his newly acquired longsword, and gonna cut those like tentacles. Try to save. I forgot the name. Sorry, those guys that are in trouble.
That's okay.
best
We
is
we,
Morak was the
we
dev.
forgot his name too.
Moirak.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's gonna roll d20.
Hits.
And that's a hit. Yeah, so it's 1d6.
I think a longsword's 1d8, isn't it?
It is.
Ah, is it? Okay.
It
Then 1d8. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
That's actually better for me. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Right. Yeah.
You
so,
you nick one of these tentacles. Next.
yeah. I guess Brock the butcher. I wonder how they taste, and gonna like try to cut them as well. Gonna go and cut them, and
That hits.
oh, nice. And he's cutting with cleaver, and the cleaver has, I think, 1d6. That's a 3.
All right. You slice your cleaver into one of the tentacles, and you hear a squealing noise. And the tentacle recedes back into the water for a moment.
Yeah.
Who else?
Yes, next is gonna be next is gonna be Derek. Well, I guess we have to help them. I don't know. It seems dangerous, but I have no choice. I have to help my friend. And he's gonna go and attack. I gave him the short sword, so he has now a short sword. 20. And that's a miss.
All right.
Nope.
Anybody else?
I guess he swooshes and just just misses because he was too stressed and too afraid. Like he sends a tremor, and then he just misses. And there's Warley then next. Well, if my brother did it, I guess I have to do it too. And he's gonna go and take his scissors and start attacking the tentacle as well. Another one.
That hits.
That's a hit, yes. And it's 1d4. That's a 2.
A 2. Yeah, he stabs one of the tentacles, and your scissors get stuck, and then you have this like gristly crunching noise as you pull the scissors back out of its calamari. Gristly hide.
And then Brock is gonna say, well, when we cut one, I'm definitely gonna fry it and taste it.
All right.
That's it. I'm done.
All right, Ted.
Well, as I said, Delilah has thrown, in her remorse, she's thrown caution to the wind. She just runs into the water, and I'm picturing the tentacles like wrapped around his throat, basically, and so she's just going to try to grab the tentacle and just get it so he can breathe, so he doesn't get choked.
Several of they're actually like 3 tentacles that have wrapped around him. They're actually pulling him apart, one around his neck, and he's starting to change colors. And
so her
2
first
around his
is
torso.
go for the one around the neck, just to get him some air, basically.
All right,
like,
make a strength check.
snake her arm underneath it and pry it a little bit.
Yeah.
She's got a +1 to this. I'll just roll it a regular. So that's a 20, total 20.
20 is just enough. and you're actually able to with stabbing and kicking and screaming and then pulling, he's able to slip loose and and Maori is able to Moiric is free, and you're able to swim, gasping back to shore, free of these tentacles.
As Delilah's thrown caution to the wind, the other three are slightly more cautious. The bullish Wainwright, Ed Rufus, will wade in with his club, and he'll take a swing at it, more to keep it at bay. Oh, that's a natural 20 for 5 points of damage with the one crit.
And then roll a d4.
Four.
Oh, a 4. Okay. So you start stabbing some of these, or you start attacking some of these.
Yeah. He's just got like a belaying pin almost. Like he's clubbing.
Yeah.
Less to do damage to them and more to like beat them back into the deeper water.
So I'm going to interpret this as, and what's the total damage?
5.
Okay. Basically, what I'm going to say is that 2 of these tentacles slide back into the water and disappear, and it loses 2 of its 6 d20 action die for the next turn.
The other 2, Charles Pinchpurse, the taxman, draws his long sword. It's not quite a rapier, but it has a little bit of that look, and he just sort of jabs at one of the tentacles.
All right.
And 12, I think that's a miss.
Misses.
And then Alphonse First, the first of his line, the potato farmer, will sort of stride up to his knees with the pitchfork and start jabbing, almost as if it, in a certain light, you can almost see it like a trident, if you will. But
okay.
But it's just a humble pitchfork.
All right.
And that also is sadly, he's not. He's hitting the water, but he's not catching anything.
All right.
And that's it for this crew.
Ken, you're next.
All right. So I'm gonna start off with my slingers. Hubcap, my beggar. He's going to bounce on his crutches and try to nail this monster with his sling. That's a nat 1.
Oh boy. Roll a d4.
Hubcap, no.
Not hubcap.
Anyone but hubcap.
That's a 4.
A 4, oh no. As you're trying to do this, and you're like hobbling on your crutches, and you try to swing it. Not only do you miss, but your crutches actually snap, and you fall into the water.
Oh jeez.
Oh no.
Although there's no mechanic for what to do when someone loses their crutches, I think we can interpret it badly. Next.
Well, my other slinger, Hans, my smuggler, he's going to try to sling him as well.
Twelve misses.
All right. Then my soldier, Elatril, since he's at the shore, he's going to try to hit one of the tentacles with his flail. $18.
Hits.
All right.
Nice.
Looks like I do 4. I didn't see the dice roll that time, but yeah. Looks like I hit him for 4 with my flail.
All right. You crack one of the tentacles and it rears up, ready to attack you back. Anyone else?
Yeah, my shaman Noro, she is going to go after the same tentacle that Latro did. That is not a natural one, but it is a one.
Nice. Okay. All right. Ian.
Okay, so oh, there it is. Moirek is going to kind of cough and splutter and make his way back onto dry land and try and recuperate. Nilith is going to run up with his halberd and just try and chop off a limb with the axe bit of it. Oh, that's the wrong. Ignore that. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. So yeah, rolls a 15 and potentially 7 damage.
Yeah, that hits. And 7 damage. Nice. Okay. Let's see.
Yep, that's right. Aidan the Squire is also going to run up, and he has the fancy short sword, so he's still rolling a d20. He will miss. Udran the Mendicant also has a halberd, so he's going to try and chop off another tentacle, or the same tentacle if it's still there. Yep, 14. Does he get a bonus? He gets a bonus. He does not get a bonus.
14 misses.
Okay, and finally, I haven't got a name written down for him. The new guy, who has a longsword from somewhere.
By the way, I want to note a house rule. I mentioned it in Discord, and this would be a time in case you wanted to use it or other things. That I like what someone brought up, that you can push a roll. Now, I'm going to say that you can't do that for a nat 1 because it's hilarious. So, you can't just use a point of luck to push off of a nat 1. But if you want to push a 19 into a 20, you can do that. If you want to push a 14 into a 15 hit, you could do that. Or if you want to activate a deed die on a 3, you could do that with luck.
Oh, you would use luck to basically
Just
give it the
push it into
Okay.
the next thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually thinking about it, I can use luck on that last one. That on the 14 I rolled, I'll just use a luck. So I'll burn that 1 point of luck to a 15.
That hits.
For the 3 damage, and then I'll do the new guy, who I need to find a name for. So he gets a
It's
20.
obviously new guy. That's his name from now on.
Yeah.
Even when he's like a cosmic
So he
hero of the
rolls
gods.
D8 and adds 3 to this, so he does 6 damage in total.
6 damage. All right. Yeah, you all valiantly wade into the waters and start striking at these tentacles, and you're hitting them and beating back the tentacles, but there are more. And let's see, that makes it the tentacles' turn, and it has 6 action dice, but 2 of them, thanks to the nat 20, are not working this turn. So I'm going to start with Ken's. Each tentacle, since everyone's kind of joined the fray, each tentacle is going to try to fight. Does a 7 hit? Wait, 7 plus 6 is a 13. Does a 13 hit?
To who?
To one of your peasants. You can pick.
Well, Latro's the one who's the closest, and it would not hit him because he's got that halberd.
All right. The next one is a 18 plus 6 is 24. Does a 24 hit one of your peasants, Ian?
Yes, it will.
All right. Let's see. And does 6 points of damage.
Will kill him.
What does it look like when the tentacle kills him?
So the tentacle kind of reaches after Moirek, who's just escaped his clutches. It kind of just comes battering down on his back, just crushes him into the floor, and with he's already gasping for breath. That last little whack is just too much for him, and he just kind of, his lungs just kind of pop, and he spits up a load of blood.
Oh, Delilah screams, like,
Yeah, as the blood pools into the dark water, a tentacle wraps around, finally getting its snack, and it pulls him down into the deep dark waters as he disappears.
Oh.
As you and is this? Was that Moiric?
Yeah, I
Okay.
basically picked him because he had the lowest luck. So.
Moiric, your vision is fading in the dark water, but you can see something like. You think at first bubbles as your vision starts to fade, and you can no longer feel below your waist, and your feeling is going out of your hands and legs and stuff, and you're beginning to choke on water. And as it pulls you down closer, you can see this brighter green glow from this mass of things. As it gets closer and brighter, you see an infinity, just an endless spread of eyeballs and mouths as this thing draws you in as you begin to join them. Let's see. That was actually, I feel like I rolled a 15 plus 6, a 21 to hit one of yours, Ted.
Yeah, I mean, that hits everybody, so I guess I'll randomly choose.
And it's 4 damage.
Yeah, I'll just do a 1d. I'll do a 1d4 to see who it hits, if that works. Boom. That'll hit my third character, who I think is... Oh, shoot, it's Delilah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it is. You said 4 hit points?
Yeah.
She's got 4. Oh, her remorse and regret at whatever she did to Moiric evidently is not enough, and she is now fallen to the tentacle.
Yeah, this thing wraps around her, and maybe she just lets it go.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
As you fall down, still alive, being brought into this maw, you can see just
maybe she has
eyeballs
a
and
false
mouths.
hope that she can save Moiric, right? Like she's, as she loses consciousness.
I think as you get closer to this mass, as you can actually see, it's gristly, like a frog's skin, scale that just goes out for hundreds of feet around you at the bottom of this lake. You think you see the side of Moiric's face and mouth stuck within this thing, and then it all goes black. And
you should have checked her horoscope.
Yeah.
It was all signs, Magic 8 Ball, all signs point to gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
And that brings us back to Glenn.
Wow. All right then. Seeing that the person we were going to rescue has perished, a drug in his water, and that his, unintentional attacker has perished and drug in his water, I think the logical next step is, let's get out of the water. So, you're going to start backpedaling back to land as they try and, beat down and fight these tentacles, keep them off from other people. So my sheep herder is gonna just swing at the closest tentacle there is.
All right.
That is a 15
Hits.
for 4 damage.
Nice.
Okay.
Suddenly, as you crack a
Then my
tentacle,
gambler-
the water starts to burble, and the ship actually lists in with the tide and beaches onto the shore. As some mass comes up out of the water, and you can see a bunch of eyeballs on this thing.
Oh, okay,
Eyeballs and mouths.
That changes my perspective. We got a giant ship, tentacle, mouth, and eyes going onto shore.
It's not
I think the other
It's not
two, the
part of the ship,
gamblers.
to be clear. The ship is.
Well, we just. Well, yeah, I understand that.
Okay. Okay.
But I mean, at this point, I think in the panic of things, Gamma's gonna just take a look at that. Instead of fighting, they're just gonna run to shore. They're
Gotcha.
gonna use their full movement to get as far in as they can. It's like, nope. You guys can fight the tentacles if you want, but we're out of here. And that will be it. Jeff is just sitting up there hanging like, hey guys, the ship's here. Maybe we should hop aboard. Let's play with the tentacles.
All right. The next person is Gorky.
So how many tentacles there are? Like it's
Probably
only
14.
oh,
And
okay,
more appearing, like several dozen appearing near the mass of this
Okay,
thing of
so-
eyes and mouths.
Right. So and the ship is on the shore now, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but is it possible, like, to try to swim with it? I mean, like, we have yeah, or it's stuck on the shore.
I'll draw
how
it.
is it?
Well, I can't draw it here. I'll have to. So it looks like this, and then I'll get rid of this. So here's a shore. Okay. The ship has just shored like next to the stone, and it's not very big. You know, it's not much bigger than you guys. Okay. I mean, you know, it's a long ship. It's maybe, I don't know, 35, 40 feet long or something. And then there's this huge mass in the water with tentacles just coming out of it. Like this, everywhere. Does that make sense?
So it's like even if we board the ship, we're not be able to like leave the caverns or wherever
Right.
we are.
If you board the ship, you will be in a ship.
Okay. Well, I guess, yeah. So Vark is probably thinking that it's much easier to fight on a ship, you know, like, and then on the water. So he's gonna jump on the ship and try to attack that creature from the ship
All right.
using his long sword.
When you hop on the ship, you find that inside of the ship there are 4 large, heavy crossbows that are bolted on the inside of the ship that pivot out and looks like they're used as weapons.
So it's like a ballista.
It's like a
Like-
mini, tiny ballista.
Yeah. Okay.
I have
So I
to
guess
look that up.
Vark is going, wow, we can use that. And he's gonna go and run and tries to maybe shoot it if it's possible this turn.
If you're not a soldier or something like
I'm
that,
not.
you would not be proficient in it. So I'll just say that you roll it with a d16.
Okay.
I'm trying to find where are my weapons at? Come on. Equipment, weapons. What'd you get? I wouldn't be able to see it possibly.
That's a 14.
A 14?
Yeah.
Do you want to push it to hit it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
okay,
I
so you
want
burn
to.
a luck point.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that works. And okay, so this would be a that hits, and then it would be a D8 damage.
Oh no! What the fuck? Sorry. Excuse me.
All right.
What? How is
You-
it possible?
If you and you have 3 more of them in here.
Yeah. Well, I guess Well, Brock is gonna see what Vark doing, and wow, that's a good idea. When we kill it, I'm gonna try to fry it. Let's try to kill it as soon as possible. Huh? And he's gonna jump on a ship and try to shoot that mini ballista as well.
All right. You can also take a point of luck for hopping on top of an unknown longship of unknown origin and grabbing hold of heavy crossbows and shooting an ancient Leviathan.
Okay,
That
thank
warrants
you.
a luck point.
And it's D16 because
Yeah.
nobody is a soldier. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring
Nope.
this back up.
No. Sorry, no.
All right. Next.
I don't know. I guess. Can you use the same one or
We have two
maybe I
more.
should? Yeah. Well, I guess Derek. Yeah, Derek is gonna jump on a. Wow, it's much safer here, and probably the weapon is much more stronger. And he tries to shoot it. Can a halfling actually do it, or is it too
Well,
big for him?
it's bolted to the ship, so I'll say that you can. I will also say it's going to take a round to reload them.
Okay. This is 16. Oh, that's a 14, and I'm gonna use that luck point.
All right.
And it's 1d8, right?
Yeah.
Per-
Oh no. The previous one, so one of the tentacles was you fire and you hit it, and then you see this like bolt sticking out of it, and then you fire it again, and it snaps the tentacle off, and ichor's flying up in the air and spraying, and you hear like this, like reverberating groan that fills the cavern, and
Can I use actually one? So another halfling is gonna join and start to reload the ballista. He's not gonna shoot it.
Okay.
But he's gonna reload it.
Gotcha. All right. Anybody else?
That's it.
All right. Ted.
Yeah, Ed Rufus, the Wainwright, is, as I said, something of a bull, a bit of a dullard. No one's told him otherwise, so he's just knee high in the water with that club, just waving back
Nice.
and forth, hoping that he strikes something randomly as it comes out of the dark Stygian water. And he is a +1, so that's a 15 to hit. I don't know if that hits.
That hits.
All right, and then 2 points of damage.
All right.
So again, some blunt force trauma. Alphonse, wants to step back, thinks it's more prudent, but he can't, so long as Ed Rufus is there knee high. So again, he's doing his, best attempt at Poseidon with his pitchfork trident, trying to, catch a tentacle before it wraps itself around one of their ankles. And that's a hit,
Yep.
17 for 2 points of damage.
All right.
And then Charles, the tax collector, is thinking, he's kind of looking back and forth a little bit, and he sort of makes like a faux kind of riposte, but in doing so, he takes about 4 or 5 steps back out of the water and is close. He's trying to gauge the range of the tentacles. And he's being a little bit coy or tricky here, and he wants to kind of wait it out.
Okay.
But he's trying to make it look like he's engaged in fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like back and forth, but it's mostly back.
It looks like these tentacles can, with the central mass of their master coming forward, it looks like they pretty well have the range of the full beach.
Ooh. I guess with that he'll scamper, provided he has enough time or in movement. He'll start to move up the stairs. I'm gonna get a better line of sight on the creature and call out instructions. Worry not. And so he's basically, let's say he's about a third up the stairs.
All right. Anybody else?
No, sadly,
all
sadly,
you
I am
got.
two down, and
All right.
perhaps more to go.
Ken?
You said that after it was not one, a hubcap is in the water now.
Yeah, and he can he can get up. You know, it just snaps his crutches, his crutch, and then you know, and he falls into the water. But he can use the other crutch to get back up. And then you have one crutch.
Okay. He is going to then stand back up. Does that take up his entire action?
No.
Okay. Well, he's gonna stand back up and he's gonna try to sling him again.
All right.
Another nat 1.
Oh no! Roll a d4. Hubcap. Oh my gosh.
Hubcap's got a real
The legless
difficult
we
share.
need.
2.
2. Okay. Make a reflex saving throw.
Okay. Let me look at his stats. Reflex. Okay. Just it's no modifiers. It's just a nat 20. I mean d20.
It's a d20 plus your reflex save modifier.
15.
It passes. Okay, so you get up and you're still fighting, and everybody's yelling, and man, these people are brave. And you sling the rock, and it just goes into the endless darkness. But you almost fall, but you grab a hold of your crutch, and you're still holding on as these like tentacles raise up over top of Hubcap, looming over him. Anyone else?
Yeah. My smuggler Hans is also gonna try to sling him. $17 with
That
him.
hits.
For 1.
1, but 1 is enough. One of the tentacles, having been pelted and damaged by others, finally snaps off, and it starts spraying Icar as well. And several of the tentacles are beaten and shivering. Some of them are seeding back into the water. 2 of the tentacles are just spraying Icar everywhere into the air, and the whole cavern kind of shudders. You hear like the sound of almost like a ship coming into port, some bellowing that vibrates the entire chamber like a like that.
All right. And my soldier Latro, he's still up with his shield raised and basically just trying to bat one of the tentacles with his flail.
All right.
And that's a 4.
Misses.
And my shaman Noro, she's also going to be up there, waving her mace around with less skill. Actually, going to be an 8. I forgot to add a -1, so that would be miss.
Misses. All right. All right. Ian.
So we've got some peasants on the boat and some still on the beach. Is that right?
Yeah, there are 4 peasants on the boat, and everybody else is on the beach except for the 2 that have been taken.
Yeah, you can shoot 2 ballista because they are basically are
Yeah,
loaded.
2 are loaded. Yeah.
Yeah. So Udran, the squire, is going to shout, "Get to the boat! Get to the boat!"
Oh, he's
and
a
he's
squire.
yeah. So he's gonna like lead the charge there, and they're all gonna follow on. So him and Ulias, the new guy, are gonna try and climb up onto the boat and get hold of those ballistas.
All right. What's the new guy's profession?
He is an indentured servant.
Okay, I'll say that the squire can roll with a d20 action die.
Okay.
The other one would be a d16.
Okay. So the squire He does not get a bonus, so that's a miss.
All right.
And the other guy, what's the damage on them?
D8.
Okay. I'll have to do that manually then. Slash R D60. That's even worse. And then the two that remained on the beach with the halberds are going to try and use the axe again, just to try and chop into the tentacles and sever them.
All right.
So, Nilith. Oh, why is that rolled? Oh no, that's a 16. That's why. And Goodman. Oh, hang on. No, that's right. Yeah, so he will hit.
Is it? Oh, with a 15, yeah. And the damage?
5.
5.
4, because there's the -1. Oh no, accounted for the -1, so 5.
Okay. All right. So obviously the two of the heavy bolts miss, and then they miss with the halberd. But the one that hits, like, you jump up in the air and you slice one of the tentacles in two, and it completely separates a whole massive section of it, like closer to the root of this thing as the waves are lapping closer to the shore and the waters are getting closer as this mass of eyeballs and mouths grows closer. And this huge chunk, the base of this tentacle, like, goes up in the air and you can hear squealing and that like roaring, and it's just shooting ichor everywhere. It gets all over him. All right, and that makes it its turn. It has... I'm going to say that it's having a harder time. It is. That's still a hit. And that one. Oh. Oh. I'm just going to say it's like heavily armored. Actually, it might be listed here, but no. 6. Okay. Oh, wow.
It's never good when the DM says that.
Yeah. Okay. So no, it's great. So one of the tentacles definitely hits, but then some of the tentacles that are like, kind of like disoriented and chopped off and stuff, they like a whole chunk that represents probably like 15 feet across slams into another one, and then like knocks several of them into the water. And the whole place is now kind of like this massive wave pool. It's like, and the water's rising on the beach, and the mass of eyeballs and mouths is getting closer as the tentacles are harmed and confused and everything. And it basically tangles a bunch of them up, and they're just kind of like waving up in the air, disoriented. However, the first one hits, and I'm just going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It hits Gorky. It hits one of your peasants.
Yeah. How much damage?
It does 6 damage.
Yeah. And Varley, the one.
No.
Varley is one, and Derek is kind of shouting, and he just hits and just splashes him like a probably like some kind of doll or something on the ship, like.
Yeah, he does. He gets slammed into it and crushed, and the
Derek, brother, no! Derek
No.
is gonna be shouting, no! Charlie! And he's gonna say, yeah, that's it.
Okay, Glenn.
Well, that was horrible for Barley. Jeff is gonna hop into the boat and just say, everybody, use the crossbows, get the mask, shoot its eyes. As a little halfling hops up and down and points towards the mask.
All right.
The sheep herder is gonna run away and try and get into the boat, and so will the gamblers. They're done with this tentacle fiasco. They want to get in the boat and just start this thing going so they can get as far away from this thing as possible.
All right. All right. So, what is the intention to get the boat moving?
Yeah, the gamblers will probably try and help start like just pushing on the back of the boat, trying to get it just some motion going. Sheeper is just gonna try and climb up on board.
Does
Say,
everybody?
come on, everybody, we gotta get in the boat.
Is everybody trying to get in the boat, or is anyone not getting in the boat?
Just the sheep herders get in the boat.
No, I
the
mean,
gamblers
I'm sorry.
on the bottom.
I'm talking about everybody, all the different characters.
Well, I'll say for the two guys fighting in the water, they're closest to the boat. If they see the boat just start to move, Alphonse will instruct Ed Rufus to help him and give a shoulder, to help push it.
Yeah.
The tax collector Charles is there on the stairs. I mean, he doesn't want to get left behind, so he'll probably just jump into the boat. He's not going to stay in the water.
Is there anyone not getting in the boat? Everybody's
Yeah,
getting in
guys
the boat.
aren't in the boat yet.
Okay.
They stayed on the beach last time, but they will.
Like,
Right.
So some people are fighting in the water. Some people start to push. By the way, there's it says here, narrow steps that wind up the surface of the menhir. So on the outside, there are places where you can climb up, you notice as people start to get in the boat, you can't really push it off the beach, but it just starts to move of its own accord. Just starts to move. And so if everybody gets in the boat, I'll say you don't have to sacrifice your action to do that. You just get in the boat. It starts to move. So back to Glenn, everybody gets in the boat. In these tentacles, they start to try to wrap around the boat and get on it and stuff and encompass it. What do you do?
Okay. Well, since that doesn't sacrifice an action, Jeff is still just gonna try and come in. The crossbows to shoot the mass, and my other three guys are just gonna try and chop off some tentacles and try and help speed this boat along. Well, try and free this boat. So, I guess I'll do the sheep herder first.
Okay.
That is an 11. That misses. I'm not gonna burn any left. I know something else is coming on.
And the target
That
number
much
is
pain.
now 14 because it's like here and there's this giant mass and it's tangled. Tentacles are tangled up and stuff.
Gambler with the staff. That is a 14.
14 hits.
He does 3 damage.
All right.
And then last gambler with a club. That is a 20.
A natural 20.
Wow.
A natural 20.
Okay. Roll a d4 and your damage.
Okay, 2 on the bonus d4.
So you roll
natural
you roll your
damage.
damage plus an extra 1d4.
Okay. So natural damage is 2. And bonus damage is... It's a 3, so I do 6 damage.
Oh wow. Okay.
No, wait. 2, 3, that's 5.
All right. It says. Okay. Wow. It says foe jab in the eye. So, and some other things. So if you'll indulge me, I think this is probably what happens. What is that person's character's name?
The one with the club, his name is Steffrey. For now. Steffrey.
Staffrey. Okay. All right. I think the mass just gets really close to the ship, and you can see everybody can begin to see just tons of eyes and mouths of people screaming of all the souls that have been sucked into this mass as the tentacles just start to wrap around, and you can actually see this thing going up around you as it starts to, and the boat starts being lifted out of the water, and then like Steffrey just like and like jumps into the air and smacks this thing in the membrane of a major eye, and you hear like this squealing like like it reverberate through the cavern, and probably like everybody has to hold their ears and your nose start to bleed and stuff, and Steffrey like falls back down to the boat, or maybe just on the edge of the boat, and someone pulls him back in, and this thing shudders and everything, and the waters start to burble, and it recedes in the water, and the tentacles just fall down into the water. And you all have sacrificed much, but is anybody aligned with law or worships a god of law?
My soldier, Latro, is lawful.
Okay.
Yeah, both Alphonse and Edrufus, the Wainwright, are both lawful. The tax collector, shockingly, is not.
For everyone aligned with law, you can take a point of luck, and on top of that, everyone, for ridiculously facing an ancient Chaos Leviathan and its endless tentacles that has existed before the many worlds, and defeating it, you all can gain a point of luck. So if you're aligned with law, you can gain 2 points, and this is for all of your peasants, all of them. Every one of them can permanently raise their luck score by 1. But then if you're aligned with law, you can raise it by 2. But no higher than 18. Okay, and you have destroyed this ancient Leviathan, and the ship is now sailing of its own accord.
Just fed up with our village being raided, and yes, this thing was terrifying, but come on, guys, you've seen far worse than giant tentacle monster.
And the ship sails to this ziggurat in an island in the center of the lake. And the sounds of bestial screaming and roaring and drums beating grows louder as it takes you to the shore, where some sort of ritual is being conducted at the top of it.
Well, I guess what Derek is going to be trying to get Varley's leftovers into the one place, and
Ed Rufus will, in his simple way, he'll add a benediction to not only Varley's squishy remains, but also those that have fallen in the deep, and he'll call upon the gods of law to provide them with some maybe some simple grace or something like that.
All right.
Seeing as we're approaching this ritual, my smuggler Hans is going to be looking to see if the ship has a steering wheel, so we can maybe not go to the evil ritual.
Make a. I'm gonna. And what is their profession?
Smuggler.
This is way beyond. But eventually, you do find a. Gosh darn it! What are those things called on a ship? A
rudder.
A rudder. Thank you. Or not a rudder.
Yeah.
The thing that.
The wheel. I think it's called a wheel.
Yeah.
Anyways, you find it, and when you approach it, it lights up in some strange combination of lights and symbols that you don't understand. And I'm going to knock you 2 down the dice chain and say that I don't even remember. Let's see, that brings you down to a D9, I think is the next one down. Or is it a D14? I can't even remember. I haven't used that one in a long time. A D14, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay, so you can use a D14. It would be a very difficult check.
He's going to try.
All right.
Four.
A 4. You press some of the lights, and they light up and rearrange, and you have no idea what you're doing. And something happens. The lights collapse, and they go back down into the wheel. Nothing seems to happen.
He kicks it.
I'll describe this as you get close. You can see the source of this glow that was out on the lake. A towering ziggurat, burning light radiating within silver thin cracks all along its massive stone blocks. A wide ramp circles the edifice, sloping to the top of the temple. Hordes of beastmen crowd the ramp, howling in the darkness, hammering massive high drums, pushing a terrified string of prisoners, your fellow villagers, to the ziggurat's glowing peak. High atop the temple, you can make out a fearsome silhouette of an enormous armored figure wreathed in infernal smoke lit from below.
Well,
You know, just for
I guess. Well, so there is a lot of people there on that island. Yes.
Yes, if you could call them people.
Yeah. Now, then Derek is gonna say, "Well, I mean, so what do we need to do next? We save those villagers?" And Vark is gonna say, "Of course we do. That's what we came here. So we're gonna proceed."
And Ed Rufus will say, "Wait, who's got that? Who's got that talky head thing?"
And they're gonna say, "Well, the Varley had it in a bag somewhere. When he got squished, I think it just fell somewhere on the ship. We have to search for it." And like he's gonna search for the bag.
You find
with
the bag.
yeah. Well, here it is.
Ed Rufus will, help you open it, and he'll pull it out and hold it up and say, "What is that? What is going on? What do you know about all this?"
Alas, the moment of vengeance has come. Long have I waited for
And
this,
it's like,
for the appointed hour of justice.
Oh Jesus!
Blood
Ed
shall
Lucas is
pool
like,
beneath
he
the
clearly-
skull. We shall swim in
He
the
understands
blood.
like every third word. He's like, he's trying to hand this thing off to somebody. Like, what is this guy?
Molen, your moment has come. Oh, how destiny has appointed this hour. Bring me to Molen.
And Vark is gonna, Mr. Skull. Is that who is that person there? Big
Mr.
one.
Skull. Take a point of luck, Mr. Skull. You point to the. He says, "That is the ancient, treacherous foe Molen. Oh, my former master, who cast me into the out of darkness with so many other skulls. Oh, how we were loyal to him. How we crushed the armies of good and law under our steel-booted feet. And then he betrayed
Point of order.
us.
Is this guy's story changing? I thought he was talking like he was good before. My dudes are all confused. Was he always just a...
Hey, you don't remember his
Vengeance.
range? This guy's talking about.
I know, I
chaos.
remember that part. I do remember that part, but I thought he was talking about like he was good. Maybe I just am totally misremembering.
His best friend was a chaos wizard, and they were.
But like a nice,
servants. They
like a
want
nice one. I thought he was like not so bad.
a nice
Okay.
chaos wizard. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. I retract my question. No questions.
No one's asked him his name, but his name is just Mr. Skull now.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, Mr. Skull. What, is there any way to stop this ritual to exact your vengeance, Mr. Skull? Jeff
Yes,
asked.
all of these
Nothing.
mutants, these peasants, this filth, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. Not the lake, not the devouring maw of the realms of chaos beneath us. None of this matters. All that matters is to bring me before Molen. Bring me before him, and I will be at his undoing.
Oh, wow. If you got any magic, or some way to automate the catapults in some crazy magical fashion, we'll take you before Molen, and you can exact your vengeance.
No, catapult. I mean, can we launch him with the crossbow?
Probably
Yeah.
we can. Let's maybe try it. And Vark is gonna say, "Well, that sounds a good plan, you know."
Okay, just yes. You can try to fire the skull from the... But you're good. No, it's fine. You could do it at a D16. It's fine. I don't care. Yes, you can try this. If that's the plan.
Well, think about it. I mean, if we're gonna kill him, and we don't risk our lives, that means we're very smart.
Hey, like Hans is like, hey, anything that means we don't have to get up close to that evil ritual, I'm on board for. And Elatra's like, I know how to work a crossbow.
The tax collector will volunteer to walk the skull up. Charles says, I have dealt with many a scofflaw. You know, people who, smugglers, ne'er-do-wells, you name it. These guys, and he'll tap the skull on its brow and say, "Can you make these worshippers kind of step aside, or are we gonna have to work our way through them?"
Oh, if only my great servant and vizier
I'm gonna take that as
were with me now.
He cuts him off. He's like, "I'm gonna take that as a no." Okay.
There's one weakness here. Oh, loath though I am to admit it, I am not what I was in my former days. I can bring pain and sorrow to Molen, but I cannot be confident that now, surrounded by his hated armies and these powerful rituals and his shaman, that I alone can destroy him.
As Charles volunteers, Hubcap, who is a little seasick, looks like, were you the one who was running away on the beach?
I mean, I don't even know your name, sir, but whatever it might be, no, you're mistaken, clearly. I think you've consumed too much of the water when you fell in.
Nice. Okay. All right. So we've got a plan to launch the skull. The skull is saying that he's concerned that he alone may not be enough to destroy Molen. There is this horde of beastmen that are dragging villagers screaming to the top of some molten thing and casting them underneath this effigy. Yeah. What do we think?
Is there any more tentacle blood or tentacle pieces in the boat? Do we have anything like that?
What's your intention?
I would like us to pretend to be beast people and sort of, basically in a really, really bad mummer's play, kind of put some blood and all sorts of stuff on ourselves.
Yeah. If you're trying to do
hold
the
a little tentacle,
Rankin Bass, Lord of the Rings, and just like try to make yourself like the bad guys and kind of hobble. You can do that, and it will take you some time, but you find enough disgusting, gross things to stick chunks of former tentacle on your face and stick one out of a sleeve from an arm and flail a tentacle around like that's what you always were.
Well, you guys can see what Charles intends. He wants to get close, obviously.
Yeah.
So
What if
Looking at their stuff, we've got.
what if a group, just one of us with 4 people out here, stay here at the crossbow, while the other 3 groups sneak in, get as close to the prisoners as possible. Then, when they're close enough, crossbows can launch into the beast, cause the ruckus. Among the ruckus, we could free the prisoners and fight our way back to the boat, get the prisoners aboard, and the rest of us can go stop this dark war. Completely starting up this armored guy.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that. The only suggestion I might make is each of us leaves one character in the boat. That way, everybody can participate on both sides. Just a thought.
Yeah, we just leave 4 people behind.
Right.
All right. Who has the highest personality? Does anybody have a bonus to it?
I do.
I have a 2.
Bonus.
Okay.
And Rufus is pretty personable or whatever.
I have one.
All right.
Yeah,
Ken,
Hans has a +2.
okay.
Yeah.
Ken, you can make a check for Hans for the group, a personality check at a D20 die.
Okay. D20 plus my personality modifier, or just a flat D20?
D20 plus your personality mod, yeah.
16.
16, it passes. You're able to cobble together bits of tentacle and other gross things that you found, bones and all kinds of crazy stuff, and patchwork things and disgusting matted stuff that's just been left here on the bottom of the ziggurat. And you're able to shamble along with the crowd right up to the top of where the ritual is. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, I assume you've set up some kind of signal to announce when you're going to fire Mr. Skull. And also, are you firing Mr. Skull or did you bring him?
I think we're gonna bring him.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea. That guy will not shut up.
I mean, if you're gonna put him in the bag,
Just tell
in a
him.
sack, but
Just be quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking we sack him up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then meanwhile, everybody else is going to try to create a diversion to pull off some of the beastmen armies toward the boat and try to hold them off. And is that the plan, or is it?
yeah,
And then yell for villagers just to rush the boat if they can get free and try to get on the boat. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So first of all, I'll just assume you've set up some kind of signal to start that. I will describe when you get to the top. It says, the peak of the temple is dominated by a vast smoking pit, glowing with a hellish light. A mighty beastman hoists an effigy of a fearsome armored figure, high into the swirling clouds as the prisoners are hurled, screaming, one after another into the molten pit. A trio of snarling beastmen upends woven baskets, pouring thousands of coins and gem in after your fellow villagers, producing gouts of hissing smoke and flame. All about you is the thundering cacophony of drums and bestial howls as the bizarre ritual nears its climax.
Who's
Does
gonna
any
make
of
the
them?
first move?
I would say, does any of these people look like they're in charge or conducting a master of ceremonies? kind of thing?
Absolutely, yeah. They're these beastmen. There's one that actually is covered in skulls and totems and stuff and is chanting something. And there's the effigy in the center, and different acolytes that are surrounding that other beastman.
Latro is gonna whisper to the group. I think we should push him into the pit.
well,
Yeah.
wait. So just a second. So the plan is that at least 4 peasants, were left on a ship,
The
And all
getaway.
others are going to bring the skull. Yeah, that's the idea.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, like everyone leaves a peasant behind at the ship, and everyone else goes and puts on the best beastman impression to get up close to deliver the skull.
Yeah, sure. Well,
Is there a beast person who's on the edge of the looks like a low status beastie?
Sure. Why?
Okay. Because Charles, the tax collector, is going to elbow him and say, "Hey, I've got a special delivery for Molen and Phelan. You know where those guys are?"
And the beastman's just like, "Ugh," and then points to the effigy that's hanging over top of the pit. That is apparently Molen.
Ah, okay. So it is not it's not the main beast, a man dressed in skulls. Rather, it's this effigy.
Yeah.
He's like, "Thanks, appreciate that."
I'm just imagining a beastman with a UPS hat now.
Right. Unless anybody disagrees, Charles is going to try to just sort of get the skulls all together, and put Mr. Skull with the effigy and do a big reveal, pull it out of the bag and hold it up. What do you guys think?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All
We
right.
still have to deal with the armor beastmen.
Oh, agreed. Once that, then it's basically a Donnybrook, but we'll see what happens.
Okay. So, as soon as you go to take the skull out of the bag, you notice the bag's already glowing with a bright red light, and it fills up the darkness. It's just like shatters the dark with this bright red light, and the skull is just like, "Finally, my hated enemy. Now, hatred, hatred!" And then if you just even let it go, it just immediately moves toward the effigy and explodes. And I gotta do a couple of rolls here.
Did not see that coming. Thought there'd be more talking, skull talk.
Time for talk is done. Time for explosions.
Evidently, the chitter chats over.
There's an explosion, and all these beastmen nearby fall over. Some of them fall over the top of the ziggurat and stuff. Now is probably a signal, if any, to start just pelting people with those crossbows down below from the ship.
And to call out to the villagers. Now's the time to run for the boat.
Yeah, they start running. There's chaos and everything, and then the effigy just drops into the molten flame, and then this happens.
Finish the adventure.
You can see the effigy burst into flames, magically drawing in flesh and golden steeped magma. The animated spirit of the Chaos Lord. Suddenly you can see the effigy beginning to move and manipulate its members. And the glowing effigy begins to emerge back out from the magma. And at first rapidly cooling into a hardened, blackened form, and then moments later shattering, rocks just flying off from it. And you see a hellish, horned humanoid with a single cyclopean eye blazing with an infernal light as Molen emerges from his unholy forge. A strange spectral forked tongues lick and lap at his face in eager anticipation as he madly revels, rushing towards you, seeking to be his first victim in his second life. And everybody can roll for initiative. accept that. That is where we're going to probably need to end. Well, do you guys want to see if we can kill Molen or not? Or do you want to hold that for next time?
I mean, I'm good till like 10 to 3 or so. If people want to carry on.
We'll just
can
need
do
to like
whatever.
roll your d20 and your damage dice together if you're going to attack, and then like let's just kind of
Oh,
keep it going.
it's on like Donkey Kong. I mean,
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's
Yeah,
my
and you
problem.
guys can go ahead and roll if you know what you're gonna do. It's okay. I've got some tokens here. Why I
Is
don't
he the
have
big
your
guy?
token? A lot of these people are gone based on what you did, so I'm gonna get rid of them. He is the big guy. Let me see if I can
I'm in the dark
fix
part.
this. Oh, it's
No big deal.
what is it? What is
Just
Oh,
it?
yeah.
paying, somebody in the dark part.
Gosh darn it!
Who got him?
Gosh darn it! Where is this?
20 initiative.
I need the tokens. Gosh darn
I'm
it!
quite sure the all will take care of him.
There we go. You're a bit small. I seem to be missing some. Okay, we'll just go with Theater of the Mind. I'm over it. Okay, so I'll roll. Where's my dice roll?
Yeah.
Oh, I got one. Okay. Somebody got a nat 20. Go ahead, Ted.
I shall. Alphonse stayed on the boat, so I think we all pretty much have one or either 2 or 3 characters. So Ed Rufus will run up with his club and try to bat him on the head. He rolled a 15. I don't know if that hits.
A 15 hits.
Okay, so 2 points of damage.
Okay.
And this time, Charles, the Charles Pinchpocket, the tax collector, knows that this is it. So he's going to step up with his sword and try to stab him, through the eye. Ooh, not too shabby.
All right. Yeah,
So
hit.
6 points all day.
6 points of damage.
Correct. 2 and 4 rather. 2 from Ed Rufus and 4
Okay.
from the
Gotcha.
tax collector. And that's it for me.
All right. Who's next?
Think it's me. I rolled
Go for it.
19.
You got it.
Yep. So, I guess, Mark. Well, I guess it's time. It's time to prove that I'm a real hero. And he's gonna put the ring.
Oh,
what
the
it does.
ring! Oh, the ring! Okay. You're gonna try to use the ring.
Yes.
Oh God.
Ooh.
Okay. Suddenly, like the ring activates in different colors. There are 3 of them. One of them has little dots. Another one has like a spray, and another one has like a hexagon. You have to pick one of the symbols.
How about hexagon?
Choose that.
Okay.
What's he gonna do? He has no idea what he's doing, but then.
Come on. This freaking thing. I wasn't quite ready for that, which is fine. Oh my God. Okay. No. Tech issues happening at the same time. It's great. All right. Here we go. All right. Roll a d20 plus your intellect. intelligence.
Okay, so he has -1 intellect. So.
Go for it. And also roll.
D20.
Yeah.
That means D20 my -1.
Okay.
Okay.
And a D6. Okay, you got a 2. That's really bad. Does that mean okay? -1. Okay, that nothing happens basically.
Okay.
Next person.
Well, next one is Brock probably. Well, it was nice knowing you, Ark, and he's gonna go and take his axe. If something told my wife I love her, and he's gonna just and with his axe try to hit that big guy.
All right, go for it. And you can go ahead and, if you're attacking, you can go ahead and roll all of your dice. So you could do like /R space 3d20, you know, and stuff like that. That way.
Nope, no.
All right, misses.
Yep, that's it. Well, unless I can shoot someone with the ballista, you know, like that's.
I'm gonna just
it.
say that, like, abstractly, the ballista people are just reloading and firing and doing the best they can to try to keep the beast people off as people are trying to board the boat, and they see all this chaos happening up on top of the ziggurat. All right, that makes it Ted's turn. Wait, no, this is an old. No, that's an old one. I'll mark that off. Who's next? I see a 13, so I guess Ken.
Okay. So you said the people in the boat are just like abstractly battling. They're not gonna be rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ken.
This is for Latro.
All right, misses.
Mrs. looks like, yeah. Hans. Sorry, I meant to, well, he misses anyways.
All right.
Yep. And the most important time, the dice are not in our favor.
And
Oh no.
Noro hits, but doesn't do anything.
This just crack into this black, dark armor. It seems to do nothing at all.
And that's it.
All right. I don't know. Next, I've got a Ian. I got a 2, so I think the next one is
It's 3 the roll, but with bonuses.
Okay. Glenn, what'd you get?
I got a 10, so
All right, you're next.
I got a 10.
You got it.
All right. Jeff is gonna go up, do a stab. 14.
A 14 hits.
Okay. So then he does 2 damage.
All right.
Sheep herder. Sheep herder's gonna go next. An 11.
11 misses.
And last one with a gambler is an 8.
An 8 misses. All right. Let's see. And lastly, that makes it Ian's turn.
So my first guy is going to go wading in with his halberd. That will be a miss. Next, the squire is going in with a short sword. Sorry, D8, not D6. Ignore the D6. 15.
15 hits.
Okay, so he does 4 damage.
4 damage.
Yeah, 4 damage.
You crack this thing in the eye, and it groans an unearthly groan and staggers backwards.
And the mendicant, where is me? Oh, there. The mendicant is going to run in with his halberd as well, take a swing. I think I'll drop some luck on there. I put 4 points of luck on that. Can you afford that? Yeah, I put 4 points of luck on that.
All right, to hit. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that push it into a 20?
No, that'll push it to 15.
Okay. All right, you only need a 13, so you can take 2 of those back, and then roll for damage.
It's 5.
5. All right. Who is this person again?
This is Udran the mendicant.
Udran the mendicant using what type of weapon?
Halberd.
Halberd. Describe how you slay the Chaos Lord.
Okay, so he's he runs up with the spiky end of the halberd and kind of skewers it into him and just keeps running, keeps that momentum up to push him back into the pit.
Yeah, you do that, and you push him back into the pit as he was staggered in the eye from that previous blow, and it stabs into the a crack, a break in the blackened armor, and you just push him back, and he falls back into the pit, and then this magma just burbles up from the pit, and the beastmen all wail and start to just scream. And there's chaos, and you can see that the beastmen down at the bottom of the shore are also just broken into chaos, and people are clambering up to the top of the boat, and all of a sudden the entire, the whole cavern starts to, you can feel it shifting, and the ziggurat starts to shift, and you can see huge fissures forming in the ziggurat as it looks like this entire island is about to sink.
Yeah. And they're gonna shout, "Run! Run! As fast as you can!" and everybody, Vark and Brock, is gonna be just running back to the boat.
All right, yeah, the beastmen also are just they're no longer trying to throw anybody in the pit anymore. They've just lost all cohesion, and they're just screaming and running and stuff. And you all make it back to the boat, and they help you up on top of it, into it, and then the current of the water begins to increase as the water just starts to swallow this entire island. Let's see here. And then all of a sudden, well, I'll describe it. The towering waves propel you with terrifying speed as you get back onto the longship. The speed increases and increases, and you find yourself almost needing to hold on to it toward a distant carven wall. Ahead, through a sea of towering whitecaps and debris of falling boulders, you spy the mouth of a narrow cave. And the dragon-proud ship rides down the crest of the giant wave and shoots into the rocky maw, a howling surf crashing all around you as you feel like you're vaulted off of rocks and current and off of a waterfall and falling as the longship plummets into some unknown doom in the darkness. But it never lands. And instead, the darkness, eventually, you just continue to feel yourself falling until you stand on the ship in the dark, and then lights start to swirl around you as you get the sense that you've been speeding up for a very, very long time. And in the strange darkness, these bizarre colors swirling around you, the helm, which is the word I was trying to think of before, lights up, and you see all these symbols of some random stuff that someone had pressed, and you have no idea where you are or what's going on. As this ship just plummets out into a multicolored spray of darkness and color. And that's where we'll end for today.
Thanks for not